Back in the day, I was actually working for Challenger Learning Center, and they wanted to start a new class here to kind of help out with our technology. They either wanted to do video game design or horticulture. I like video games, so it became video game design. Some of the basic programming concepts I really go for are if-then statements and variables, loops, movement, things like that, things that apply to all programming. The concept of variables goes across math, science, and video game design. In math, you may have x many whatever. In science, you'll have your independent, dependent variables. In programming, you'll have your x as your variable, but in this case, x represents what level you're on. For example, my 6th graders right now, they are using a ton of XY coordinate graphing. And again, when they first came in, they looked at that and went, that's math. We have to do something with that? Yes, you do. If you don't, you end up with a giant blob in the middle of your screen that, well, doesn't show off very much. My whole thing right now is try to inspire them into the technology field, get them interested in programming, interested in video game design. When I have a new project, usually I will gather all the students up front in my class. I'll put it up on the projector there, and I'll kind of give them the basic outline of it. For example, right now, today I brought them up and introduced the maze game. I showed them, this is a maze game you're making. It's gonna need to have this, this, and this. Here's how we do some of it. And got a lot of interaction out of the students. Okay, well, what happens if you do this? Or how do I make it do this? Say you want a timer on your maze. You have to get through the maze in this amount of time. Well, this goes back to that variables you learned earlier. And after I go over it with everybody, I kind of disperse them all out. Okay, everybody, scatter back to your computers. They all start poking at it. And then I start running around the room from then on and going, okay, well, here, let me help you. And run around the room from then on out, either helping with the main concept ideas, or the more common thing is they go, okay, well, I want mine to do this. What do I have to do to make this happen? Well, remember how you did this? Sure. Now apply it this way. Oh, okay, and then they start working on it from there. James Henson was one of my 6th graders. I had him last semester there. He has proven to be one of the most amazing 3D modelers I've ever seen. Literally, he will look at a picture of whatever, and then I can make that and start building this.
I think about all the details, but I only worry about the details until it's the end. Like whenever I have to paint it or anything. Once you're done modeling it and you know how to do everything else, you can animate the modeling, and then if it's really good, then you can end up making a game out of it.
Fatima has been one of my students for 2 years now. So right now she is working on her environmental game. Again, she took a humans and water environmental issue and is making her take on this.
Well, for the game I used a program called Kodu, which makes like a lot of games that we use right now. You use things that are really similar to other programming methods, but this one's kind of different because it's 3D. So you create a 3D world and you add in characters, objects, houses, huts, water, things that you need. I really like playing video games, so I like the part where you actually take an idea that you have and make it into your own game.
Luke Underwood has been in my class for 3 years and is one of my student apprentices. He has learned everything I've taught him. Now he is working on Unreal Development Kit. And he is kind of making his own projects at this point. He is beyond what I've been teaching in my class.
Well, I'm using a program called Unreal Engine, and it's 3D modeling software. Unreal Engine was a program I wasn't familiar with at first, and so I've had to learn it as I go along. What I have done is I've made a test world, and I did just some pretty cool looking things and worked out how to make a person move and just making a game altogether.
I'm really happy if they show an appreciation in that programming is something that they can do. They come into my class going, programming, video game design, I don't know how to do that. I can't do that. I try to make it not so scary for them. They go, I can do this. I'm interested in this. And then they start expanding from there. When a student leaves my class, they have a concept of most of the fundamentals of programming. They are usually very inspired to go on and pursue this career, or at least pursue more of this technology and idea behind programming.